Welcome to Mando and Friends, presented by Verizon. My name is Mando Fresco, and I'm here today joined by legendary actor representing PR, baby, Puerto Rico, Luis Guzman. Luis, how are you?
I'm good, Papa. Saludo. Happy to be here, man.
Man, so happy. Right before we started, I thank you for coming. It's an honor to have you here on Mando and Friends, and we've all been big fans of yours for many years, man. And so thank you for that.
Gracias.
So I want to take it from when you first started your career to where you are now. So before Carlitos Way, before Wednesday, before any of that ever came to fruition or was a thing, I want to take it back to where you grew up, Greenwich. I want to talk about NY, New York. I want to talk about Puerto Rico. Do you remember the first time when any recollection of, I want to do this, I want to get into theater or acting or TV, become an actor? Do you remember that first time?
It's interesting because I was never dreaming of this. I was never pursuing this. I never went to sleep thinking about this or waking up about this. It was a total accident.
Wow.
I had done street theater in New York, but that was with friends. It was a hobby, you know. Somebody would write something. Hey, you want to do these 8 different characters? Yeah, you know, it was stuff for fun, you know. There was a couple independent movies that happened. Mm-hmm. When an independent movie was truly an independent movie, I would get a role, but it was always just doing a favor for a friend. It wasn't about pursuing a dream. I was a social worker.
Yeah.
And I was working with teenagers on the Lower East Side of New York City over at a place called Henry Street Settlement. I one day went out into the street looking for 2 young people that didn't show up. And I ran into a friend of mine, Miguel Piñero, who had wrote Short Eyes, a play that got like a lot of awards. He wrote it when he was in prison.
Wow.
So I go out into the street. I'm looking for these 2 young people. And I run across Miguel, Mikey. I hadn't seen Mikey in like 3 years. So he started telling me about he's writing for this TV show. They're going to come to New York. They're going to be looking for people. Take down this phone number, Lou. See if you could get a part. I said, nah, I'm okay. No. For real. See, nah, bro, really, I'm cool. I got to find these kids. No, here, take this number. Call, make an appointment. I call, made an appointment. I get called in to an audition. I audition. I got 3 lines. God knows how many hours I waited, you know, to go in to say these 3 lines. I go in, the casting director goes, kill me with your eyes. I'm looking at the sides. I said, I'm sorry, I don't see what said that. Kill me with... And she goes, no, kill me with your eyes. You mean like give you a mean look? She goes, yeah. Give her a mean look. She goes, thank you. I leave there. I said, yo, that was weird, man. So I blew it off because I don't understand this industry. A week later, I get a phone call. Yo, the producer and the director wants to meet you. Okay. I go in. I read with Miguel. The director asks me to step out of the room. He comes out and said, yo, let me ask you something. Do you ever smile? And I go, yeah, I smile. He goes, thank you. I leave. I go, yo, this is weird. Kill me with your eyes. Do I ever smile? So I blew it off, right?
Yeah.
3rd week comes. I get a phone call. Hi, my name is Richard. I represent Miguel Piñero. Like I'm his agent. And I would like to represent you. I go, why? What did I do? I said, no. You just booked a co-starring part in the season premiere of Miami Vice.
Wow.
That was like my first thing that I did. And in doing that, all I wanted to get out of it was enough money to buy me a used car so I could drive to the beach on the weekends so that I didn't have to take the subway and the bus. Got the car. My friend totaled it the next day. Anyway,
Gosh.
that was my introduction to the world of entertainment, to being an actor. I did it. I went back to work because, again, I didn't understand. But this agent guy kept sending me out for stuff. I was doing soap operas. I was doing, little character things. But for me, it was subsidizing my salary as a social worker. So it was soon after that my buddy Bill Mitchell, who worked with me, he was a job developer at Henry Street in our program. He recommended me to his acting teacher. So I went in, I studied with this guy for 2 years. It was a way of me sharpening my skills.
Yeah.
Yeah. And that's pretty much how I got my start. Again, it wasn't something that I was dreaming about. It happened. I ran with it.
What do you make out of it that most people in their lives and that want to be in entertainment, they go for it? Like you said, they go to sleep thinking of it. They wake up thinking of it. For you, it seems like it was the other way around. The craft sort of chased you. Like, do you think about that sometimes?
Yeah, well, what happened with me was, man, I was just so blessed to work on really cool projects. And one of the projects that I worked on was very early on was a movie called Family Business with Sean Connery, Dustin Hoffman, and Matthew Broderick. But the thing about that project was directed by Sidney Lumet, which, if you know anything about the history of Sidney Lumet, he's one of the greatest actors, director of all time. And so it was through him that he hooked me up with his next film, which was a movie called Q&A. So here I am working with Timothy Hutton, Armand Assante, Nick Nolte, a whole slew, Charlie Dutton, a whole slew of great actors. It was in that project that Sidney's assistant director, and it was the first time I ever worked on a movie from beginning to end. That was a really cool thing, right? I forget his name because it was 400 years ago. Oh, no, his name was Burt. I forget Burt's last name. But at one point, at the end, Burt says to me this. He goes, as far as acting goes, remember one thing. Your life is your reference. Because that stood out to me in the sense of your life is your reference, meaning I know how to have this conversation.
Yeah.
I don't have to act it.
Yeah.
I just converse. I know how to cry. I know how to laugh. I know what makes me feel good. I know what makes me feel bad. I know what it feels like to be frustrated.
Yeah.
I know what it is to be in not a good situation with somebody. So this is your life. So you use all those references when you go to work as an actor.
Yeah.
Because, sometimes it's like I find the mistake to say, okay, I'm gonna act like I'm happy. No, I'm gonna be happy.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna act like I'm gonna be happy. I'm gonna be sad. I'm gonna be loving. I'm gonna be a.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because when Bert told me that to this day, I'll tell young people that are up and coming in the act, life is your reference. Use it. It's a tool.
What would you say was the reaction from your family when you told them that you wanted to get into acting, into entertainment?
My mother was like, ay, no. Tú tienes un buen trabajo, stay working there. You're good. No. And I knew better than to listen to mom at that point. Like mom wanted me to become an accountant, have a house with a 2-car garage, 2 kids, a wife, a dog, a cat. And it's like, Mom, I'm a rebel,
Yeah.
you know? I go against the tide. But once she saw what I was accomplishing, she was very proud of me. I mean, I'm her trophy, pretty much, you know. God bless my mother. Her name is Ana Rosa. And she still works, 83 years old.
Wow.
And
That's beautiful.
she still works at the hospital. So when I visit her at the hospital, she's like walking around like with a trophy.
Yeah.
This is my son, the actor, bye-bye. And I'm like, oh man, you know, but you know, my family's really proud
Yeah.
of me, you know. Acting, you know, there's 2 sides to it. There's the side of you're very successful, and then the side that sometimes you struggle with that not too many people talk about. And that is like when you're raising a family and being away from them and missing out on things, you know, that's the dark side somewhat.
Yeah.
You know, because my kids are really proud of what I accomplish, but it's taken away from seeing them grow up,
Yeah.
you know, and as I kept going in the business, I had to like tell producers or line producers and stuff, okay, listen, my kid's birthday's on this day, so I got to fly home and stuff like that. And sometimes they would get it, and sometimes they didn't. You know, sometimes you will come across somebody who would say, all right, yeah, I got kids. So, you know.
I understand. Yeah.
Yeah. So, but there's nothing wrong with success, but people need to understand that you take a hit sometimes.
Yeah.
And sometimes the hit is, you know, you got to kind of compromise work with your family or family with work, you know.
Do you believe in a work-life balance? Do you think that exists?
Hey, Mando here. Right now, you deserve the network more people rely on. That's why Verizon is introducing Welcome Unlimited for just $30 per line per month with 4 lines and autopay, plus taxes and fees. Their best price unlimited plan ever.
Did you say $30?
Yep, $30 a line per month for the whole familia. Pretty cool, right? Wait, where are you guys going? Guys? The network you want, the price you love. Switch to Verizon. Visit verizon.com/Mando today. Guys, can someone turn the camera off now?
Do you believe in a work-life balance? Do you think that exists?
It's very possible for it to exist. Just that you have to, that's something that you have to call upon
Yeah.
from the people that you're working with.
Yeah.
You know, sometimes you're on the other side of the world. So it's like you're there, you know, you're not going to fly home for 2 or 3 days unless it's an urgent situation.
In the craft that you do, is it possible to, or was it ever a thing for you to fly your family to where you
All
work?
the time.
Yeah.
Oh man, I used to travel with 5 kids by myself. Oh yeah. You know, one thing I will say about my children, which are all young adults now, is that they were phenomenal travelers. And it's like I would have a family meeting with them, and we're talking about 7, 8, 9, 10, 11-year-olds, you know, because it's 5 of them. And it's like, okay, Pop, number one, is there a pool where we're going? I said, oh man, let me call up. But Pop, you know, que si no hay swimming pool, no vamos, we're staying right here, we're home. It's okay, give me a second. Is there a pool? There's a pool. Yeah, we're going.
Yeah.
You know, you know, my kids were not the kind of kids that the TV was a babysitter. You know,
Yeah.
my kids were the kind of kids that like to go hiking, that did artwork, that loved museums, that loved going to see plays, that would visit me on set just to find out what craft service was, load up. Okay, Pop, we're out. Bye. See you later. So I've always loved having them around, I had 3 of them with me when I was shooting Boogie Nights.
Oh, wow.
And they visited me in West Covina. And we were shooting inside the house. And they were 4, 2, and 6 months old. And so the 2 and the 4-year-old would be in the swimming pool. So when they were here rolling, they came out of the pool. And then when they yelled, cut, they would go. They wouldn't jump back into the pool. They were like kind of quietly go into the pool.
Yeah.
So I was impressed by that.
Yeah. How old is your oldest and your youngest now?
Semi is 30. Yemaya's 28. Luna is 27. And Yoruba and Margarita are 26. I adopted 4 of those children.
Wow, that's beautiful. That is amazing. If your kids want to follow their dad's footsteps,
Not going to happen.
It's not gonna happen. Why? Why do you say
There's
that?
not really a why. It's just that they each have their own personalities. They want to do what they want to do. I never pushed them to get into acting or into entertainment. Although my oldest son is an up-and-coming film producer, documentary producer. My daughter does some stuff in the industry on the costume end. And, my other 3 kids, they're artists. Like, all my kids are artists.
They're creatives,
They paint, they write poetry, they compose music, and this is all stuff that they do on their own. My job as a dad is to be encouraging, support them, in their pursuit of their dreams. Yeah, but I would never tell, my kids, I'm grateful, were never jaded.
Yeah.
I mean, they knew when to step off. They love traveling. I love them traveling with me because, they get to learn other things, see different cultures, try different foods, and more than anything, be with Pops, When we shot Journey to the Mysterious Island, we were in Hawaii, and they came out for 10 days, and one of those days, it happened to be Thanksgiving. And me and my kids, we went to a shelter, and we prepared meals
Wow.
for homeless people. And that's how we spent our morning. And they were all into it, and I was so proud of them. It wasn't a question of like, oh man, no, Or stuff that I've done with my kids is sometimes we'll go have a meal, and we got leftovers. We're driving around looking for somebody to give our food to.
Yeah.
That's who we are.
They have a big heart.
You have to.
Yeah. You've done so many films, TV shows, series, just a few that I'm going to name: Carlitos Way, Boogie Nights, Anger Management, The Bone Collector, and so on and so on and so on and so on. What would you say that you feel is your biggest break? That first biggest break?
I think my biggest break, as far as film goes, probably was a movie called Q&A, because it was right before Carlitos Way.
Mm-hmm.
But I say Q&A because it was the first time that I got to work on a movie from beginning to end.
Yeah.
That I got to work with amazing actors and working with a great director, Sidney Lumet, you know? And because I learned a lot. I learned a lot of how not to act, because Sidney would instill that in us. you know. And then the next level up from that was when I did Carlito's Way.
Yeah.
Because everybody loves a good gangster film.
Yeah.
And, you know, it was a dream for me to work with a guy like Al Pacino. I mean, Al Pacino did the movie Dog Day Afternoon. He did Serpico. I mean, to me, those were his staples as far as movies go, you know?
You mentioned that you were told how not to act. Do you mean like in the craft way, an acting way, or
no, it's always in the craft way.
always in the craft way?
Yeah, always in the craft way, because the thing about acting, you know, once you get to a certain level, you find yourself really not acting, but actually doing it. You know what I mean? And in order to get to that, it takes years. You know, I did a movie called Confidence, and I had already been acting for like, I don't know, 17 years. I watched that movie and I watched myself. It took me 17 years for me to say that one thing. Damn, Lou, you're good. Wow, you impressed me. You know, it took me 17 years to say that to myself.
Wow.
You know?
Wow.
But I appreciated that.
Yeah.
You know, because again, me working the craft, me getting into the craft, me understanding it, me growing with it, being believable, being honest. Those were the things that I was always striving to do. And like I said, I forget what scene it was. I think it was a scene with Andy Garcia and Donald Logue, and I watched it, and I was convinced. I said, damn, Papa, you're really good. But again, 17 years.
Wow. Things hit different when you're your worst or toughest critic. And I feel like it took you 17 years to really feel like, man, I'm doing something right here. Like that means you really were a student of your craft and aimed for top quality. You mentioned you watched that film. I know there's some actors that don't watch their work. Do you watch everything you do?
I watch at least 90 to 95% of what I do.
That's good.
Yeah.
Like to study it, for what
To
reason?
just watch it, to be entertained by it. I think prior to those 17 years, I was studying it.
Yeah.
I was like, oh man, I should have done this way. Or, you know, I could have had this choice of stuff. But it took me that long, you know. But once I just discovered that, oh wow, I'm really good at this.
Yeah. Yeah. So when you discover that you're really good at it, how does that change your life, your career?
Your confidence level, the trust that you have in yourself. You know, because you got to trust that you're conveying your message, you're conveying that character. So in doing that, for me, like I say, I just, you know, it's like a new discovery.
Yeah. Yeah.
About yourself. And it's never about being cocky. It's never about you're a know-it-all.
Yeah.
It's about you have enough confidence in yourself that you're capable of doing anything. I did a movie called The Count of Monte Cristo. They flew me to Ireland. I'm hanging out with Irish, Scottish, English actors. I mean, very fine, you know, use of the English language.
Yeah.
Here's a kid coming from the Lower East Side. Latino, and all these other cats. And I'm like, so I'm hearing them speaking their proper English, and I'm like, oh man, I gotta do that. Oh. I'm trying to get it in my head. So my very first day of shooting, the director, Kevin Reynolds, I do the first take and I go, yes, my dear Lord, what would you like me to do with cut. Kevin, what are you doing? All those guys are talking like this.
Yeah.
And he goes, no. You're the only guy that don't need to talk like that in this movie. You know, do you.
Yep.
That's what I want. And I go, that's easy. And that's how I did that character. It was a character of respect. It was a survivor, a hustler, a confidant. That's how I pursued that. And like I said, it was pretty cool that I didn't have to do that. You know, like, okay, I dodged one there. But I understood the character more. You know, because when I tell the Count, I am your man forever, to me that was, I got your back forever.
Yeah.
You know, that's paraphrasing.
Yeah. Did you or do you ever find yourself in a position like you were in Ireland or other places like it? I don't know, events, movie sets where you're like, look around and think, man, like, how did I get here?
All the time. This moment. All the time. I pinch myself every day till this day. I say, wow, look at where I am. Look at what I'm doing. To me, it's all part of my humbleness, you know? Because like I said, to me, it's fresh.
Yeah.
You know, I'm like, never in a million years would I have thought that I would come this far, that this would be the longest job I ever had on my resume. Yeah, I did that for 40 years, you know? I've never imagined it.
How long have you been doing it for now?
I think Miami Vice was 1985.
37 years.
Yeah, longest job I ever had. And, you know, it's mind-boggling to me. I never think I've done the same role twice. You know, because I don't use my roles as references. Like, my life that I use. So there are different situations and different scenarios, you know. So, you know, like I said, the fact that I'm sitting here with you right now, it's like, wow. You know, it's a beautiful thing. And,
oh man, it's
and
mutual.
I'm just totally humbled by it, man. You know, because it's like, if I wasn't doing this, I'd still probably be a social worker and be a happy social worker.
Yeah.
Because I always have love and I have always enjoyed helping people to help themselves. That was my motto. You know, taking young kids and saying you're not going to be a fourth generation welfare role in your family. You're going to make something of yourself. You're going to do something of yourself. Let's go. I'm going to provide you with the tools. I'm going to provide you with knowledge. Do something with your life.
I feel like you have to have a big heart to be a social worker. Fred's wife is a social worker. And, you know, I think that's such a beautiful career to give back. Do you feel now in the place that you are in your life that you, for the 37 plus years, you've carried the heart of a social worker?
Yeah, I think that's something that's always been a part of me.
Yeah.
I think that's something also that I got from my mom. Because my mom would give me food to give out to homeless people
Yeah.
as a kid. I grew up in a very tough environment on the Lower East Side in the 70s when it looked like a bomb hit the neighborhood. And, I became a community activist back then. I got the opportunity and the blessings to sit next to Cesar Chavez as a teenager when he came to the Lower East Side to give us the knowledge and the education about the United Farm Workers and what their struggle was, So just being a part of those things, that was part of my mantle, seeing Edward James Olmos on stage at the Winter Garden Theater in New York City doing Zoot Suit
Yeah.
and playing Pachuco. I still have the poster from that.
Wow.
And Pachuco, I told this to Eddie, Pachuco became like the spiritual character to me. It affected me. And it was a Mexican play being done in New York City, but I got it. I understood it. I understood the struggle.
Yeah.
I understood all the stuff that went down with the Zoot Suits and the discrimination that they faced.
Yeah.
So all these elements in my life just kind of gave me all this knowledge. And I don't know where I'm going with the conversation at this point, so you can bail me out anytime.
No. I think it's.
We have. It's like, Papo, bring me back. Come on, Papo. Where did I go here? I know it said a left turn, but how many left turns have I made already?
No, I love that you said Zoot Suit, because that was huge here in Los Angeles. Chicano culture. It was huge that the Eddie Olmos, what he did, the film, everything was a big deal. I'm not aware. Did Zoot Suits make it out to the East Coast ever?
Yeah,
They
made
did.
it to the Winter Garden Theater. And back in those times, they didn't have no Latin Broadway musicians.
Wow.
And so it became a big deal because they were playing the music off the recording. And so I think I saw Zoot Suit like 8 times.
Wow.
Because also part of what they were doing was they were offering $10 tickets to people in the Latin community. Because back then a theater ticket was like $65.
Wow.
That was like that was a weekly salary to some people. So they tried, and our people in the community, we hooked up with the production, and they say, "Yo, here these tickets, $10 a piece for people in the community." That's why I was able to see it 8 times.
I'm sure you've had a lot of full circle moments. You talk about watching, Edward James Olmos doing theater, now being a peer, a friend of yours. I'm sure. How many, or not how many? What would you say is your favorite full circle moment that stands out for you?
So my friend Erica Christensen invited me to a party in, I think, Beverly Hills or Bel Air. And she gives me this address. I had just finished shooting. I was shooting Lemony Snicket with Jim Carrey. I rushed to my place, took a shower, got the address, started driving there. New York, Latino, playing Tito Puente all the way, music blaring. I'm looking for the address. I come down the street. I see all these cars. I see on one side of the street, a bunch of people taking pictures. On that side of the street, like valet, I'm looking. Oh, wow, that's the house right there. I get out of the car, And I started walking toward the house. It was somebody's house. It turned out that it was the producer of Lost in Translation. It was Academy Award weekend, so they were having a party for the movie. So I walk out, and I'm walking toward the house. So the door opens, and who's walking out of the house? Cher.
Wow.
And I'm like, oh, hey, how you doing? She goes, oh, my God, I love you. Oh, wow, thank you. So there's a lady there, and she's standing there with the list of whoever's coming to this party.
Yeah.
And so she kind of is about to look at the list. She looks at me and says, of course, opens the door. I start walking in. There's this one couple, they're saying bye to the lady who's the producer. Mm-hmm. The lady turns around. It's Barbara Streisand and her husband. I'm going, what? So Barbara said, hey, hi, Baba. I walk in. I introduce myself to this lady. And she goes, oh, my God, wait. You got to stay for 1 second. So she comes with this guy. This is my brother. I flew him out. He absolutely loves you. Boom, boom. So, they take me to the backyard. It was like the A-list of the A-list.
Wow.
And I was like, damn, this is really cool. If I could only find Erica, but I like Benicio was there.
Wow.
Jim was there. So it's like a lot of the A-listers that I work with was there. So that was really cool. So that was like, oh, wow, But there have been many situations, going to a Laker game and having Jack Nicholson call me over. And people said Jack never calls anybody over.
Wow.
Which was pretty cool. But things like, you name it. Hanging out with Mark Anthony at a concert, meeting Marco Antonio Solis,
Ooh, legend.
hanging out with Bruno Mars, seeing Bad Bunny.
Yeah, Benito.
Stuff like Benito and stuff. Just a lot of really cool stuff,
Yeah.
Or stepping onto a plane, and it's like, the last 3 flights were delayed or canceled. So now you get on the plane and you're sitting in the back of the plane, and it's all cool because you just want to get home. But right before the plane takes off, they come, Mr. Guzman, we have a seat for you in front. And I go, for real? No, come.
Yeah.
So I think it's all humbling, man.
Yeah, man.
It's all really cool, But I think that's a big tribute to the work that you put in. It's also, it gets around about who you are and how you handle yourself and how you treat people, you know, because I think, again, there's the saying, you meet the same people on the way up that you meet on the way down. Yeah, and I tell that to like a lot of young people because they got to hear it, and, once you get to a certain level, it's also about maintaining that. And sometimes you get to work with a director's writer such as Steve Conrad, who really challenges you with his dialogue, with his style of writing. And like all of a sudden your brain is like, oh wow, this is different, because it's too easy to sometimes get a little lazy. And I never believe in being lazy, and I never believe in being comfortable. I believe in always taking on the challenge of what you do. Because every day is a different day. Every movie is a different movie. Every character is a different character. All the dialogue is different. The moments are different, So it's like, you got to gel into that. Sometimes that has to gel into you too. But
yeah. What would you say is the most challenging part of your career?
I said it before. I think it was balancing my career with my family.
Yeah.
That was the most challenging.
What would you say is the easiest?
Showing up every day.
Yeah.
Here I am. Let's go.
Yeah.
Because I would never say the work is easy. but showing up is easy.
Yeah.
I want to be there.
Yeah.
I want to create. I want to work with whoever it is, you know? I mean, you know, listen, sometimes that you have your good moments, you have wonderful moments, you have like things that blow your mind, and sometimes you like, it gets a little rough sometimes.
Yeah.
You know, sometimes you got to put somebody in that place, or you got to really say, yo, I want to try doing it this way. So, but it all works out.
Yeah.
It all works out. I don't think, you know, I don't have any enemies
That's
in
beautiful.
what I do. I don't, because that's not how I deal with people, or how people deal with me. You know, I'm straight up. You want to be straight up with me? You know, what's on your mind? I'm sorry. Did I say something and it bother you? I apologize. I didn't mean it that way. I could, you know, I'm that person. I'm not there to be hurtful. I'm there to be helpful.
I love that. We had Emilio Rivera here.
I love that man.
He said he loves you too.
Right on.
And he was like, "Oh man, I love Luis. I love Luis, man. I think it's beautiful to have like camaraderie with fellow Latinos."
Oh yeah, because you know the thing is that, you know, I always get when is Hollywood gonna let Latinos in? I don't answer that question no more. I haven't answered that question in years, because my whole thing is that when it comes to Latin community, yo, we're the ones that gotta prop ourselves up. I'm doing this show with Latinos right now. You know, this is your show.
Yep.
This is your thing. You know, but guess what? It goes out to the universe, not just Latinos, right?
Yep.
So when we do Latino projects, it's not about, I didn't do the movie Nothing Like the Holidays because I just wanted to show it to Puerto Ricans and Mexicans and Dominicans.
Yep.
Christmas is a universal thing. Family gatherings is a universal thing. That was what we wanted to convey in that music, in that movie.
Mm-hmm.
And that, to me, is the bigger picture. You see, so, but we got to back each other up.
Yeah.
So, you know, we're talented writers, we're talented actors, musicians, directors, producers, makeup, sound, gaffers, set designers, you name it. But we got to back each other up. You know, stop with the being envious.
Mm-hmm.
Stop with being jealous.
Mm-hmm.
You know, because I'm going to show up on the set and that 20 Latinos that I'm working with, guess what? I am here to prop you up.
Yeah.
So would you do the same for me too? Because we want to do something here that's beautiful.
Yeah.
You know, I'm not here to compete against you, to outdo you. I'm here to compliment you. Compliment me. Let's make this beautiful. Let's make sure that people, when they see this, they go, yo, that was great. I love the relationship between them. I love this. I love that. That's what we have to be about, you know? And I'll go a step further by saying that all those people out there that have that dinero,
Mm-hmm.
and they say, oh, I want to make movies, step up, make movies. Let's go. You know? I think the biggest thing also, there are too many backstabbers. And I call them out. I call them out because they're not doing any justice to our community.
Yeah.
You know, don't say you could do something and you don't do it. You know, don't hype something and then you don't come through.
Yep.
You know, don't say you want to be a part of this and then I'm asking, so what's your purpose? You know, I want to be honest.
What would you say is the biggest misconception of Luis Guzman?
You're going to love this. I could have owned Disney, Fox Studios, Paramount, and Universal for every person that came up to me that said, I loved you in Ghost. If I got a nickel from every person that has come up and said that to me, I will own all those studios by now. Because that's been the biggest misconception, that I was in the movie Ghost. Yo, why'd you kill Patrick Swayze? You know, it got to the point. It got to the point. I'm not kidding.
Wow.
That people, yo, I love you, and go, thank you. Thank you.
You just say thank you now.
Thank you.
You don't even correct them.
I swear to God, I say thank you, and then people, yo, what was it like working with Whoopi? Hey, Whoopi's Whoopi, man. You know, yo, why'd you kill Patrick Swayze? It was in the script. You know, funny story. I was in Detroit on my way to the Philippines. 90-year-old lady, because I asked her, how old are you? She comes up to me, oh my God, I love you in Ghost. 90-year-old. So I felt really bad.
Yeah.
You know? And I go, man, I'm sorry. I wasn't in Ghost. And she goes, so what else have I seen you in? Because I watch movies all the time.
Yeah.
And I said, have you ever seen The Count of Monte Cristo? And she goes, oh my God, I love that movie. It was shot so beautiful. I said, well, I was Jacopo in that movie. No, you weren't. From that moment on, anybody, I love you and Ghost, thank you. Thank you. I'm not explaining nothing to nobody. So that, I think by far that has been the biggest misconception, you know? I mean, the only other thing that I could think about, some people think I'm Mexican, some people think I'm Cuban, Colombian. I mean, listen, I am every single Latin country, you know, and stuff like that. So
Yeah. I mean, you represent us well.
Yeah.
I think people, just correlated with that.
you know, I mean, I'll be honest with you. In the beginning,
Yeah.
you know, I used to do these roles, and they were Mexican, you know, and it was like, for a time, I thought I was doing a disservice, man, you know, because I said, yo, you guys couldn't find them, you know, but I did the roles, I honored them, and, but I always honored every community that I've worked with.
Yeah.
You know, like I say, when Zusu came, that was a Mexican production, but man, I believed in it. I believed in it to the T. You know, I play Cuban, you name it.
Yeah.
But I think being a Latino makes me universal.
That's a bar right there. I love that. Yeah. And you're very loved by not just the Latino community, by the world. You are, the Luis Guzman brand is universal, and including social media. Something I love is your Instagram and your Instagram handle. Where did the name for your IG come from?
Louis from the Hood?
Yeah.
I love being different. I just didn't want to mix it and just put Luis Guzman, because there's like 300 Luis Guzmans out there. So I said, so what are you going to do? So I even wrote Louis different, Louey,
Yeah.
from the Hood, and that just stuck.
Was that your nickname at one point or no?
That what?
Was that your nickname at one point in your life or never?
What, Louis from the Hood?
Yeah.
No, man, but
Nah.
I knew I was from the Hood. But it was also my way of paying homage that I am from the Hood.
Yeah. Yeah.
Louis from the Hood. And I take pride in that, because I grew up on the Lower East Side. I was there when it was nothing but sacrificing to provide better housing for our people, better education for our kids, better health care, better mental health care for our people, and at the same time battling the politicians, battling the drug dealers, the
Yeah.
tecatos, you know, because again, it's the hood that made me. All those experiences, all those funerals that made me. When we got hit with AIDS, my neighborhood on the Lower East Side, we had the highest per capita of AIDS cases in the country.
Wow.
You know, that going to 3, 4, 5 funerals a week at the peak of when AIDS hit, because nobody knew what was happening. You know, having to hug someone that had AIDS that you grew up with because their family kicked them out. But their family didn't understand the disease, you know? And hearing someone like Carmen say, yo, can I get a hug? Absolutely, you know? Because I didn't know what it was, but I knew I had like a lot of love.
Yeah.
And if I'm gonna get inflicted by it, but you know, that never happened.
Yeah.
You know, so my neighborhood, my people taught me a lot. And that's what I always carried with me, you know. And you know, just seeing all the changes that have gone on. I mean, you know, I don't have to tell you about Boyle Heights,
Yeah.
the Lower East Side, you know, Humboldt Park, all these neighborhoods that were once all truly Latino and families now all being gentrified, stuff like that, you know. But that's a real thing too.
Yeah.
That's a real thing, you know, that you know, before my first studio apartment in New York City, I pay $175 a month for that apartment. Now it's like $22.50, and it's still the same size apartment, you know. And it's like back in the day, it would take one paycheck to cover your rent and your electric bill and your phone bill. One paycheck. So that means you had 3 other paychecks, and you could save your money, have a good life, go out, do your thing, you know. Now you need 3 jobs
Yeah.
just to cover your rent.
Yeah.
You see, and that's where this world. Listen, man, you know, I'm here in LA. I drive around. I see all the street people. I see all the tents. It's like something is not right.
Yeah.
You know, I see it in LA, Chicago, New York, Austin, Texas, Miami, Atlanta, you name it. I look at these things. Yeah, I'm an actor. I have a good life. But I also see what's going on in this society that we live in. And I feel that not enough is being done.
Mm-hmm.
And so I speak out against those things. Matter of fact, some years ago, I went homeless for 3 days in the streets of New York. And I lived in the street. I slept in the street one night. Another night I slept in the homeless shelter. I did it from beginning to end. Being homeless is not a happy thing. Everything is hard. Everything is cold. You got to figure out where you're going to take a dump, what you're going to eat.
Yeah.
You know, is it safe to sleep here? You know, I did that. I did that because I wanted to put a face on it. I wanted to do that because, you know, sometimes you got to put yourself out there on behalf of humanity.
Yeah.
You know, I wasn't trying to show anybody up. No, man. It's like, yo, this is a tough place to be. And I've had friends that say, yeah, man, there's this lady and she's sleeping in her car with her 3 kids. Yeah. And so here in America, we don't address those things.
Yeah.
We don't address mental health. We really don't. You know, drug addiction is rampant in this country. Homelessness.
Yeah.
Why are we not addressing these things?
Yeah.
You know, I don't need a committee of 30 people. I don't need a committee of 30 experts, because those experts get to go home every night
Yeah.
and take a nice hot shower. What I need is doers, you know, people that say we're going to provide mental health assistance to these people. You know, I don't mean to get into this, but you know, it's important. It's not about just giving stuff away.
Yeah.
You know, get people right. Give them an education, a good education. You know, let them get some kind of a job. But housing has to be affordable. You know, not subsidized, affordable.
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
see?
Yeah. I hear you talking about community a lot and humanity, right? Which seems just the bare minimum for any human, right? To care about others. But it seems like you're very passionate and vocal about it. Do you ever, or have you ever thought about you yourself being in politics or something like that?
I have. Just that, listen, if I was going to do anything in politics, it'd probably be in Puerto Rico, where I come from. Because right now, Puerto Rico is in the midst of this crisis of gentrification. All these outsiders are coming in. They're buying all the beachfront properties. You know, all the Airbnbs in Puerto Rico, the majority of them are not owned by Puerto Ricans. And then you have corrupt politicians. You know, who would, you know, run for governor of Puerto Rico? I've been asked to do that. You know, but I tell you what, people will hate me. Not the politicians will hate me, because I get rid of every single corrupt politician. You know, right now there's this whole situation with Luma, which is the power authority. Every day the lights go out. Every day. Puerto Rico is right there on the equator. Why ain't we encouraging more solar plants?
Right.
You know, the sun is free down there. You know, but again, what happens is outside people come in, they're running the companies, the money is not staying there. You know, so Boricuas, Puerto Ricans, got to get on it. You know, we got to come together as a people,
Yeah.
start our own solar companies, make it affordable. You know, yeah, you know what? Anybody could come to Puerto Rico. We love people coming. And every time people come to Puerto Rico, oh, the people are beautiful, people are great, and all this and all, the food, the dancing, you know, the mojitos, no this, no that, the beaches, you know. But the thing is that the island is being sold,
Yeah.
you know, and I regret that happening.
Before we started rolling, I brought up that I brought up the Bad Bunny concert in PR in Puerto Rico, which you told me something I didn't know, that he had these generator trucks
Yeah.
because the power goes out.
Yeah, man, the power goes out. You know, and he's been very outspoken about the power authority, as been other people. So it's really unfortunate, because like I said, you know what that is, man, that Maria hit, and some people did not have running water or electricity for a year. For a year. What does that tell you? That the authorities, the government, no preparation, no forward thinking. You know, I had a whole plan. I said, hurricane comes, boom. We're sending people out to these spots. We're sending them out with generators, with 4-wheelers, with horses, with water, with medics, electricians, you know, like a battalion
Yeah. Yeah.
to help humanity, you know. And it was up to us, the common people, to come up with that. You know, there were planes landing in San Juan with supplies, and nobody knew where the stuff went,
Yeah.
you know? And politicians were giving out to their people.
Yeah.
And it's like, no, man, that's not how you do things. This is a crisis. People are dying. There were people, they were senior citizens that they found them living in their little shacks. And a friend of mine found this very old lady, and she said, oh yeah, man, it was raining a lot, and the wind was, like, she had no clue that and she lived by herself, and she said she had not eaten in a week or something like that. They bought her food, they bought her clothes, they bought her water, they fixed up the roof to her house, you know? And so, you know, when you hear these stories, and you're grateful that there are good people
Yeah.
that will look out for people. But at the same time, it's sad of the corruption and how people handle a mass catastrophe,
Yeah.
and how ill prepared they are and not forward thinking, you know? So
Yeah.
if I could change that, I would love to.
I know that you have a big heart. What do you like to do currently to like help others, whether it's give advice?
Anything that I could do, man, you know? It's like anything from giving out food to giving out clothes to giving a hug.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Because people need everything, even
Yeah,
hugs.
man.
Yeah.
You know, so yeah, anything that I can do, you know.
Yeah.
I can't do everything, obviously. But I give the people time of day. Listen, even if it's like there was a FedEx guy in the lobby of the hotel, and he saw me and said, "Oh man, can I get come on and take a picture?" I know that impacted that person.
Yep.
And not so much the picture, but I took the time,
Yeah.
you know. That's really important when you're a person in this position.
Yeah, you know, these days you're very, very busy. I see you on the news, new shows, new projects coming up. But before or in the 37-year journey that you've had in this industry, have you ever thought of quitting? Were you ever like, I'm done?
Honestly, yes, I have my moments, you know.
Yeah.
But I think some of that was maybe due to depression. Maybe it was due to not feeling respected in the industry, you know. But I kept going.
Yeah.
It's funny because last year, you know, we were just kind of coming out of the pandemic. Last year in May, I'm over here thinking, okay, and this is my age, and I'm vested, I may collect my pension, I could live off this, you know. I was thinking that. The next day the phone rang, and Mano, I have not stopped working since that thought came across my mind.
Wow.
You know? And in that time, I did a movie with Forrest Whitaker and Tom Hardy. I did Wednesdays,
Yep.
The Addams Family. I did a movie called Looney Tunes versus Coyote versus Acme. John Cena
Yep.
is in that movie. I just finished doing a movie with Adam Sandler. I just finished doing a movie called Story Avenue. I probably, and the funny thing is, like 2 nights ago, so Lou, how many projects have you done within the last 12 months? It was like, coño, man, I think I've done like 9 or 10 projects,
Wow.
you know?
Wow.
You know what I mean? And so I said, wow. So yeah. And, you know, just to go back real quick to doing Wednesdays and playing Gomez, one thing that you come across in this universe of social media,
Yep.
you come across the people that love you, you know, that praise you, that support you, and then you also come across the haters.
Yep.
And so, you know, people ask me, so how do you handle that? I don't really give much thought to haters because my only response to a hater would be, if you can do what I do, then maybe you might have a point, but you don't. But no, not even that. It's like, you can't do what I do.
Right.
You can't do what I do. You know? I'm honored. I'm pleased to play Gomez, to step into those shoes. I would never think that I was trying to duplicate what Raul Julia did, because in all due respect, I love that man. I got the first Raul Julia award
Wow.
ever in Puerto Rico. I'm thankful to Tim Burton for giving me the opportunity, for picking me. You know, I'm thankful to Jenna Ortega for being the strong woman that she is, the talented woman that she is, for doing this role. I'm thankful to Catherine Zeta-Jones, who was so wonderful to work with. I learned a lot from her, you know, and, you know, I'm just thankful to all the people that show me love and respect, you know, and like I said, you know, anybody else and they think to the contrary, I don't got space for that in me.
I love the Addams Family Wednesday series that's going to be dropping soon, because it's a great representation of Latinidad.
Yes.
And like you said, even this show too, it's Latinos to the world, you know, it's there's Latinos, it's for everybody. It's for general market. It's
Right.
It's us doing things that just connects to and not to and with everyone.
Yeah, because let me ask you this. You have all these talk shows on network TV. On network TV. Please tell me one that there is a Latino host and that's really promoted by the networks. You know, because it's not good enough to have Latin channels. But what's up with the mainstream? Are we not part of the mainstream? We should be part of the mainstream
Yeah.
because we are the ones that keep the entertainment industry going.
Yep.
We pay money, good money, to see movies. We take our family, we take our kids. We're buying popcorn, you know? So that's where we are.
We're the top paying consumer and we're the most loyal consumer.
That's right. That's right.
And I going back to Wednesday, it is a show where we have Latinos, but everyone's gonna watch and everyone's gonna enjoy.
Oh yeah,
it.
I mean, listen, man. The Addams Family is iconic. It's beautiful. It's an awesome, crazy, dysfunctional, loving family, and it works.
Yeah.
And again, because it's something that I grew up with watching a kid, I can't say how honored I am, how proud I am, how humble I am, how much I pinch myself every day to say, wow, papi, look what you just did.
Yeah.
You know? And again, I'm just a living proof, man, to any person that sees this, any little kid, anybody that's aspiring to do whatever you do, that I'm living proof that anything is possible. You're living proof that anything is possible. These guys right here are living proof that anything is possible. You just have to really pursue it. Pursue it. Go into it with the right attitude. Step into the unknown.
Which is scary sometimes.
And it should be.
Yeah.
It should be. Because that's what's going to give you that self-confidence to move forward. That's what's going to give you that self-esteem to believe in yourself. Because you're absolutely right. The unknown, you know, it was Wanda de Jesus who told me that.
Wow.
You know, if you don't go beyond those bushes, you never gonna know what's on the other side. You know, and it's true. It's true. You got to be willing to take a walk in the woods to see what's in there.
Yep.
And know that it's okay. You're going to walk out of there a better person.
Yeah, I know you were also. Thank you for sharing that. By the way, that's a beautiful to hear from you, and I appreciate that the team appreciates that too, man. And you said you're a living proof, but you're a living inspiration, and motivation, Luis. I want to talk about something I just saw recently is Poker Face.
Right.
What can you tell me about Poker Face?
Oh, yeah. Well, Poker Face, I played this guy who is the head of archives for like a motion picture kind of company. And I run the archives. And I got to work with Natasha Leon, who I'm a fanboy of Orange is the New Black. And when I found out that she not only wrote it, but she directed and starred in the episode.
Yeah.
And like my first day, I said, girl, you just gotta know, I am a fanboy. I thought you were like the most dangerous character in that show.
Yeah.
Even though like you're a little wimp and stuff like that. But yeah, you know, so I worked on that show. Nick Nolte worked on that also. Cherry Jones worked on that. And it was just different. You know, it's like a mystery type of thing. And yeah.
You talk about being a fanboy. I was a fanboy of How to Make It in America.
Yeah.
That was such a great show, in my opinion. Short-lived. I was a big fan of Entourage, and then How to Make It in America came out like as Entourage was ending, and I was like, this is gonna be my show. Rasta Monster,
man. Well, you know what? I mean, I love doing that show because, you know, it was about dreamers, man.
Yeah.
You know, it was about dreamers and the hustle, you know, and the ups and downs and all the different people that you run across just trying to do the hustle and
Trying to make it.
yeah, and how to make it. And it was really well written and executed. And, you know, I got a chance to work with some great people on that show. You know, Victor Rasuk, Ryan Greenberg, Kid Cudi.
Yeah.
You know, Ian Edelman, who created the show. You know, Lake Bell. You know, again, it was a great cast of people, and I was so proud of that.
Yeah. Yeah. No, I love that show. I still, during the like when we were in quarantine, I watched that thing like 3 times, front to back.
I'm going to tell you this. That show was so good to me. The writing was so good to me.
Yeah.
That they would give me the script for the next day. I would read it once. I had it memorized.
Wow.
Because Ian Edelman, who wrote for me, captured my voice to the T. Having the opportunity to work with someone as beautiful, as gifted, who I miss so much, Miriam Colon, who played my mom, you know, on the show. You know, that was great, you know. And again, it gave us a platform.
Yeah.
Also as Latinos, you know.
Yep.
Because here I am, you know, coming out of jail, and I'm trying to run a beverage company, and all my buddies are a bunch of knuckleheads and stuff. You know, that one scene when we did the pop-up shop.
Yep.
And my boy ended up shooting himself in the foot. I said, bro, what are you doing here with a gun? You know?
Yeah.
But those are things that really happen.
Yeah.
You know? Those
Yeah.
are things that really happen, you know? So I love doing that show. I was very disappointed with HBO for taking it down the way it did. But to this day, people are still asking for
Yeah.
the show.
Man, beautiful show. Luis, before I let you go here today, we have Rapid Fire with Luis Guzman. Are you ready for that?
Bring it.
$1 million or 1 million followers? $1 million more dollars or 1 million more followers?
$1 million.
Favorite Spanish word?
Cariño.
Cariño. I love that. Like loved one, right? Salsa or merengue?
Salsa.
Favorite Latino food dish?
Arroz con pernil and gandules and a slice of aguacate.
Oof. Best song to play at a party? A favorite song that you love to play?
So many. Man, this is rapid fire, but I got a million songs in my head. Favorite song to play? We Are Family.
I love it. I love it. Greatest singer of all time?
Danny Rivera.
Greatest rapper of all time?
Curtis Blow.
Oof. Legend. Favorite piece of technology that you use?
iPhone.
Not your air fryer?
Not the air fryer, baby. You didn't ask what I like to cook with.
Someone has said that, though,
You know,
believe it or not.
Yeah. Okay, air fryer.
I love that. Lastly, what's a nickname of yours that no one really knows about?
They all know my nickname. Papi, Papi Chulo, Louis Lou, Louis Love, Luisito. Cabron. I don't think they know that one.
Well, Louis Lou, I want to thank you for coming. Thank you so much.
Thank you, brother. This was really special. And thank you for the good, wonderful questions. You know, and you keep doing your thing, brother.
Thank you. Thank you. Everybody give it up for Luis Guzman. Thank you, Luis. And thank you so much for listening and watching Mando and Friends presented by Verizon.